Hello, everybody. A beautiful day. What a great day it is in Dublin, Georgia, and we're telling you about a brand new business opened. It's Lawrence Internal Medicine, here to take care of not only your urgent care needs, but any of your questions. We've got doctors on staff, great staff of people here at Lawrence Internal Medicine. We're in Corporate Square. In the very back there, when you turn in Corporate Square, coming from Claxton Dairy or 441 North, the Trinity area, come down Hillcrest toward Kroger, just take a left here into Corporate Square. In the very back right here, if you're coming from the mall area, take a right, also here in the Corporate Square, and you'll see us right here just as you pass. If you're coming from the Kroger area, just as you pass Middle Georgia Business Products, get ready to take a right. In the very back, you'll see all the signs directing you. We've got staff on hand. We can help you with all kind of needs, especially uninsured. We'll work with you today. Come out and see us at Lawrence Internal Medicine.
I think it's mostly preventive. Of course, hypertension is called the silent killer. You don't feel anything, so if you feel you're fine. But that's when you don't have insurance, and just a small once-a-year checkup can keep you aware of if you are, there's this creeping thing going on, like high blood pressure. Your cholesterol could be checked after 30. We usually once a year after we keep an eye on that. And of course, a little bit of exercise and not doing really risky things will keep you away from the doctor.
But we invite you to come out today and see us. We're taking new patients right now at Lawrence Internal Medicine here in the Corporate Square on Hillcrest Parkway.
A.B. Lee Meat Market is the market people from all over Georgia trust for always having USDA choice or higher quality beef. All our meat's 100% American all the time. And we have all natural small chickens and chicken breast, homemade sausage, seafood, vegetables, cheese, buns, and charcoal. A.B. Lee's will have you ready to make a great dinner. Our vacuum seal meats stay fresher 6 times longer than regular wrap, and marinated vacuum sealed is also available upon request. Don't forget A.B. Lee's famous ribs, slow cooked on wood and ready for you to pick up and serve. All meats are cut fresh daily, only at A.B. Lee's Meat Market since 1981. A.B. Lee's Meat Market, Highway 257 in Dublin.
Welcome back, everyone. I am glad to be joined tonight by, first of all, the incumbent in Ward 2, Gary Johnson. Welcome, Mr. Johnson, tonight. Glad to have you with us. That's Mr. Edmond. We're going to get it right in a minute, ain't we? I threw him off probably. That's probably my fault, so I'm going to take the blame for that one. But I'm going to try that again, okay? Welcome, Mr. Gary Johnson.
Good evening.
How about that? The power of television. And now, I want to welcome Mr. Edmond. Welcome tonight, Mr. Edmond.
Good evening, citizens of Dublin.
Okay, now that we got all that straight, we're going to go right into our opening statement. We go in alphabetical order, and that means I'll go to you first, Mr. Edmond.
First of all, let me thank you for allowing me to come into your homes and being able to express my belief as to the direction for the city of Dublin in the coming future. I hope that after this program that you will be able to see that maybe I am the best candidate for this job.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Edmond. And now your opening statement, Mr. Johnson.
Good evening. I'm Gary Johnson. I'm running for Ward 2. I have served 20 years on the City Council in Dublin. If you notice, we have done a lot of things in Dublin. I'm very proud of it. I'm proud of the other council people and the mayors that I participate with. But I'm looking forward to serving 4 more years after November the 8th. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Johnson. And we're going to go right back to you with this first question. Why don't we stop these people from coming into town, this viewer says, and taking money from our local businesses? You see the gun and knife shows, tool sales, kids' clothes at the National Guard Armory, while our local merchants make large, long-term investments. Can we stop this?
Well, I was in business for 21 years. I ran a daycare center, and last year I went out of business. Now, a lot of business right now are having hard times. I think we try to welcome as many people as possible to do business. I know it put a hurt on some business at times, but things going to get better after a while, not just locally, our state and our country. So right now, I don't think that would be a good idea. They only come once a year. And like I said, I was a businessman for 21 years, and things are tough right now. I think everybody is going through a tough time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Edmond, what's your opinion?
My opinion is this. I've just about worked and bought and dealt with just about every business here in Dublin, and I know their investment is great. And they are investing not only in the city, but investing in our communities. I think we need to protect them to the best of our ability and allow them to grow with us in this community.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Edmond. Okay, I'm going to come back to you on this question. With the unemployment rate the highest of any county in the state of Georgia, what are we doing and what can we do to reverse this trend?
My first thing is that the high unemployment rate is, to me, atrocious. But I also think that we need to go a little deeper and a little further in bringing in industry, because I can understand the frustrations of a person that's been unemployed. Dublin has always been what I call a blue-collar town, in which if a person is given a chance to work, they will give the employer an honest day's work for an honest day's pay. I think we need to look a little further, and because we're in competition with other cities, we need to do more to get those companies to come and invest in Dublin and put Dublin back off of the unemployment list.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Edmond. Next to you, Mr. Johnson.
Well, Mr. Deal, this is nothing new here. Lawrence County is what is considered the hub of all the little small counties around. And we have lost the Willie Mill, we have lost the Carpet Mill, and that's why our unemployment is so high. And like I said before, when I ran North Franklin Daycare, I had 8 employees. But if we continue letting the Development Authority find good prospects, and we help with the county and put funds together, we're going to bring new companies here. We got some prospects that are coming now, and I look forward to us lowering the unemployment rate in Lawrence County, just like the United States. We're having a problem everywhere. Thank you.
Okay, and I'm going to take this question back from a viewer to you, Mr. Johnson. What is the biggest problem facing our city today?
Well, you stated a few minutes ago, unemployment. I see a lot of we got to start employing our young boys, and we need to make sure that we have something for them to do every day, not just recreation, do something that's worthwhile for the community. So we got to do all this together with the mayor and city council and the county commissioners.
Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Edmond, what do you think the biggest problem facing our city today is?
Frustration, because it's all based upon the factors that the unemployment, the low tax base, resources, and everybody has become frustrated. My thing is that if we're going to relieve this frustration, then you have to work harder at getting what you need for the city of Dublin. Even though we might have prospects coming, but the thing about it is we need to make sure that we can do everything we can to get them to invest in Dublin, Georgia. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. And we continue on. A lot of questions on garbage, and we had to really break it down, had to break our questions down. We had so many in, but here's just one of them. I'm going to you, Mr. Edmond. Why can't I get my garbage picked up twice a week like I used to? The county says I can't use the recycling centers anymore. What can I do?
I think that needs to be revisited for one reason. I noticed my garbage bill went up, and just like everybody else. If you're going to go up on the price and then take away the services, something's wrong. We need to look into all of this, because I think that, again, if we have to, maybe we need to look at our own recycling center rather than the counties. Maybe so. I don't know. But my thing is that why would you increase the fees and take away the services?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Edmond. Mr. Johnson.
Well, when you talk about the trash that the county wants to add an extra bill to our city residents. We disagree with that because we have the citizens in Dublin already paying for that service. So that once a week, and plus we have recycling twice a month. Now, I don't know of anyone we decided as a city council and mayor that we would not go up on the city, and we would not agree to work with the county commission on the $50 a year program. And I stand by that tonight.
Okay. And I'm going to come back to you, Mr. Johnson. A lot of questions on gangs. We've had some meetings over the past year with city leaders, as you know, Mr. Johnson. But let me ask you, is there a gang problem in Dublin, and to what degree?
Well, we have a gang task force that is working on this problem. I don't think we really have a big problem in Dublin, but we are trying to get ahead of the game by focusing our policemen on this problem, focusing our community. We are teaching classes in the school system, trying to keep kids from participating in these type of activities.
Okay, Mr. Edmond, do we have a gang problem? If so, what degree?
Most of the young men that I've seen in Dublin, to me, would like to be, but it hadn't gotten that far yet. Some of the things is that, again, we have in some ways allowed some of our resources to be taken away from this area. And in being taken away from this area of helping our youth, of giving them a way to earn a living, and giving them a way to be able to feel good about themselves. And if we start doing this, I think this would also, we won't have to have police in our neighborhoods for gangs because they are working and they are honest. Again, this is part of what I said is frustration.
Thank you, Mr. Edmond. Don't forget, programming note, we've got Junior Scarborough and Ed Touchberry coming up from that Ward 3 right after this debate. But we're going to take a commercial break and be back with more of David Edmond and Gary Johnson.
Mr. Bond came to me about last year sometime, and he asked me if I would support him as mayor. And of course, I didn't hesitate because it means that he had thought about what he wanted to do. And it hadn't been an afterthought. It had been a deliberate decision to want to serve. And I think that anytime any man come to you and make himself available to serve, I certainly support that without a doubt, because that's what we need, folks who are willing to serve. And our candidate, Dr. Bond, has made himself available to be a servant for the citizens of Dublin, Georgia. And it's with that in mind that I want you to know that we need all of your support in order to make this happen. I think it presents a great opportunity for us to make a change in Dublin.
Cooler weather's here and hunters are headed to the woods. So Georgia Equipment Company wanted us to remind you of the great deals on harrows right now. Get a 20x18 United harrow with a 2x3 tubing, sealed bearings, and yours for only $975. Georgia Equipment Company has Cosmos spreaders for only $390. With the help of Georgia Equipment Company, you'll find the best rental prices on quality farm, construction, and lawn and garden equipment anywhere. Just call Georgia Equipment Company at 275-0050, 275-0050. Georgia Equipment Company, 1918 Highway 441, Dublin.
We're here at the Dublin-Lawrence County Recreation Authority. This is a great place for kids to get together and play sports or go to the splash park and have fun together. We did this as a joint venture between the City of Dublin and Lawrence County. Another teamwork effort that was put together. My opponent, he wants to do away with teamwork. I say let's make it stronger. Please don't forget to vote. October the 17th, early voting begins and will continue for 2 weeks after that. Thank you.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm going to go right to you, Mr. Edmond, with this next question. What is the most difficult decision facing our city today?
The most difficult decision facing our city is the fact that how are we going to be able to solve the various problems that is attacking us? Unemployment, shrinking revenue, and a shrinking tax base. How are we going to solve that is by working together, city and community, working together to alleviate these problems so that we may be able to climb up higher than where we are now.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Johnson, what is the most difficult decision facing our city today?
Well, the city right now, as you know, is limited. We only have limited funds to do certain things with. We don't have the revenue coming in like we had in the past. We need to continue to provide service, but we need not only the government to help us, we need the people from the church community to help us with the youth in our community. We need everyone to work together. We need to work with the county commissioner. We need to work with our state agencies. But most of all, we need to not just depend on city council or the government, but we need everyone to work together.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, next question here. We've had a lot of conversation, the county commissioners, on this recycling. You touched on it a little while ago, Mr. Edmond, and I'm going to go to you first, Mr. Johnson. What's the city's stand on us not getting to use the recycling centers in the county? Why can't we have a choice as citizens?
Well, the price that we're paying now for our pickup in the city, we thought that we would be taxed twice by the $50 fee that the county commissioner would be charging. We're already charging our citizen a fee to pick up recycling. So right now, unless someone want to opt into it, you can go out and pay the fee yourself, but we don't want to put this on people, a tax burden on people.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Edmond, what you think about this?
I am not for being taxed twice on any basis. And I think that if we are paying for the use of the landfill, then why can't we use it? Again, like I said, maybe it might be best that we look at our own recycling center if the county cannot allow us those different fees. Because I'm not for spending money just to be spending money. Let us look at these things, because in the area of recycling, that can look at a point of revenue for the city.
Okay, next question goes to Mr. Edmond. Is our police department properly staffed? What areas do we need improving?
Well, basically, I don't have any data on the police department. I know that I see them moving and going around through the city. Would have to get with the chief, find out what is his staffing, how many people he have on shift, how many people he uses daily, so that we may be able to eliminate whatever problem he has. Basically, I see the patrol cars on the patrolling, and basically I see officers in the community. But I still think that in order for us to be protected, if there is a need for more officers, then we have to do this.
Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Johnson?
Well, right now we have enough policemen on the streets right now. Whenever we lose one, we try to replace them. But, when you have crimes, police can't be there, when somebody's committing a crime. I don't think anybody's going to commit a crime right in front of a policeman. So the thing that I'm saying right now, we have enough policemen. We just got to teach our children and teach people the right way to conduct themselves, the right way to live in a community, and that's all. Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to send this question back to you, Mr. Johnson. Looking back, was it the right thing to ban baggy pants in Dublin? How many citations have been written?
Well, you can ban anything, but that was an ordinance that we passed that the policemen, they would give warning to people that had on baggy pants. Now, one thing that we were trying to encourage, people that walk around with baggy pants on, we were trying to just show them that it was indecent. But right now, I don't think we don't have any tickets. They have wrote citations in the sense of giving people warning. That is a tough law to police. It's almost impossible. But now I don't think, but we got to do a better job at home. We got to teach our children, you don't walk around with your pants down. You don't walk and find jobs with your pants down. We just got to go back and teach our children the proper way to wear their clothing and the proper way to act.
Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Edmond, what do you think about the baggy pants issue?
I have mixed feelings about that because of the fact that I have seen some young men that once the ordinance was passed did recognize it and obeyed it. And then I've seen others that did not. But my problem is that, again, if we are, that must mean that the city and the community must work together in order to get this problem eliminated. It takes education. It takes being knowledgeable of all of these problems. Thank you.
Okay. And we're going to take one more question, then we'll go to another break before we go to closing statements. Mr. Edmond, talking about adult shops, many questions about the adult shops. There was one downtown, one out on 441, but what are these adult shops doing in town? What can we do to make sure that doesn't start a trend? Mr. Edmond.
Now, that's a big question for a minister.
It's the last one.
Oh, boy.
Let me answer. Preach it on
That is a tough question because of the fact that as an adult, if we are trained right and if we are told the right thing, then we should not be able to go along with these adult shops. I know that they are here. They never had a ban or ordinance. And then again, I must understand also that in some ways this is free enterprise. So I have to take the position that as long as I can help to keep it out of Dublin, I will.
Okay. Thank you, Reverend. By the way, Junior Scarborough and Ed Touchberry came in during that last laughter exchange here. They're wondering what they're getting into back here. They're probably going to leave, Gary, but Mr. Johnson, follow up on what the Reverend said.
Well, we did pass an ordinance to ban the adult sites. I'm not for it. I think that we can use our time in a more profitable way than going into one of these type places. I know it's free enterprise, but we can't let anything come into our city because it's free enterprise. Thank you.
Okay, it is time for closing statements, and I'm going to go first to the incumbent, Gary Johnson, with your closing statement.
I would like to say thank you to all of the viewers tonight. I'd like to thank TV 35 for giving me the opportunity to come back and talk on TV. I've been here, I used to come every week when I was working with Extension Service. I retired 3 years ago and decided to keep my mother, who passed away a month ago. And I look forward to working with the citizens again in Dublin. I enjoy working with the council and the mayor. I have enjoyed over the last 20 years on the city council. So on November 8th, please vote for Gary Johnson as your city councilman. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Johnson. And your closing statement, Mr. Edmond.
All I ask is that you look at both of us. Deeply consider your right to vote and choose the right one. Because at this point in juncture in Dublin, which is a treacherous time, make sure your vote counts by choosing the right one.
Thank you very much, Mr. Edmond. Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Coming up next, we've got Ward 3, Mr. Junior Scarborough, Ed Touchberry. We'll be back right after this break.